I actually have respect for Dave Smith, but I realized who Dave Smith is. And I would say this to his face or on camera. Dave Smith is a radical libertarian. Don't take my word for it. You've said this multiple times. Have you not, Dave Smith?
Said what? That I'm a radical libertarian? Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yes. Okay, perfect. So when you're something, when you're radical, what's another word
I
for?
believe in it. Well, what I believe in is true Americanism.
Radical? Extremist.
All right, buckle up, buttercups, because today we are diving headfirst into a verbal cage match that perfectly encapsulates everything wrong with the political discourse right now. We've got Dave Smith, the self-proclaimed radical libertarian, dropping a hot take so spicy it made Ben Shapiro clutch his pearls and refuse to debate. You know the guy who made a career debating college kids? Yeah, that guy. Now, whether you agree with Smith's controversial statement or not, the way this conversation devolves is a masterclass in what happens when people would rather scream past each other than actually engage with ideas. It's not about finding common ground, it's about winning the loudest. Let's be honest, we see this playbook every single day from the MAGA crowd, who are allergic to nuance and prone to labeling anyone who disagrees with them as radical or un-American. We are going to pick apart the arguments, the hypocrisy, and the sheer audacity of some of these takes. We will look at where Dave Smith might have a point, where he's swinging for the fences and missing, and most importantly, how this kind of performative outrage poisons the well of productive conversation. So grab your popcorn, because this is going to be a wild ride, and we are here to call out the BS, one flawed argument at a time.
Okay, this is why
these are all relative terms.
This is why you call, sure, this is why you call the U.S. military the greatest terrorist organization on earth, right? Because you're a true American? Because you're a true patriot? Is that why, Dave? Because something tells me you have what is known as clickbait of the mouth. And you're using these instances, these wars, to garner attention for you. You're calling, you have the American flag behind you, yet you have the hypocrisy of saying the United States military, United States is the greatest terror organization the world has ever seen. I mean, I don't understand what's going on here. This is why you're radical.
I didn't say
by
the
the way,
world.
I tell you what, hang on, just to be fair to Dave, let's replay what he actually said on this show, which caused all the furore, led by Ben Shapiro. We'll play what he said, and I'll play what Shapiro said about it, and then we'll come back to Dave for a response.
The IDF is the worst terrorist organization in the region. Let's get real. The United States of America is arguably the worst terrorist organization in the world. If you want to look over the last 25 years, how many innocent civilians we've slaughtered.
It doesn't matter, it turns out, how many times you appear on Joe Rogan's show or how many times you hide behind your title of comedian who holds the Guinness Book of World Records for fewest jokes told, or how many times you spew puerile analogies that demonstrate nothing but unbelievable, willful ignorance of the nature of war. I'm sorry, but you hate the country if you say America is the worst terrorist organization in the world. You just do. Now, I know that Dave Smith is super duper excited that his name was mentioned here. And he's sitting there shouting at his TV screen in his basement, "Debate me, bro!" To which I answer, nah. I don't debate with trolls who claim that America is the biggest terrorist state in the world, because that is idiotic.
Okay, hold on a second. Ben Shapiro, the man who built his entire brand on owning the libs in debates, suddenly draws a line in the sand and declares something idiotic and beyond debate. That's like a chef saying a dish is too spicy to even taste. It just does not track. This is classic political theater, folks. Shapiro isn't refusing to debate because Smith's point is truly beyond the pale. He's doing it because it's a convenient way to dismiss a challenging perspective without actually having to engage with it. It's easier to label someone a troll or idiotic than to confront an argument that might make his audience uncomfortable. This isn't about intellectual honesty. It's about maintaining a carefully curated image and avoiding anything that might disrupt the echo chamber. And honestly, doesn't this sound familiar? The whole "I won't debate with these people" mentality is a hallmark of the MAGA playbook. They don't engage with facts. They demonize the messenger. If you challenge their narrative about American exceptionalism or call out the military-industrial complex, suddenly you hate America. It's a convenient, intellectual, lazy way to shut down dissent and avoid any uncomfortable truths. It's not about patriotism. It's about silencing critics. And that, my friends, is truly idiotic.
So, Dave, as you know, that all blew up. A lot of debate raged about it. Just, clarify what you meant. Do you regret phrasing it the way you did? Just give us a bit more meat on the bone.
No, I don't regret phrasing it the way I did, and I'll be very clear about what I'm saying. I will point out that it's quite something for Ben Shapiro. Just since you played him, I got to respond to him first.
Course.
That he goes, "Oh, I just won't debate with this guy because this is so beyond the pale." Ben Shapiro made his name debating 19-year-old communist Maoists who were confused about their gender. So somehow, Pierce, we're going to have to believe here that I'm so much less serious than the children who Ben Shapiro made a career debating. I loved your response to him where you pointed out some of the goofy segments that he does on his show. I mean, personally, I really stay away from that stuff. And, for Adam, I think to say it's clickbait or that I just want to get out in front of the camera, I think we're all equally in front of a camera right now. And it's kind of weird to accuse someone else. I very much believe the things I'm saying.
Dave,
now, to Adam's point,
Dave,
hold
don't
on,
run from the comment.
Because there's a
don't
bunch.
run from your comment.
I'm trying to
address
get to
the
it, but there's a
comment,
lot
not Ben
here.
Shapiro, would you? Good.
Yes,
let's go. Wrap it up.
No, I'm going to make the points I want to make.
You called the United States military.
You're just slowing. Okay, so
you called the United States military the greatest terror organization in the world.
Adam,
defend.
Just let me answer. No problem. I'm going to go back to the order I was going to go in. To Adam's point, when Adam says I'm a radical libertarian and I say that this is true Americanism, I mean, look, my favorite founding father is Thomas Paine. Not everyone considers him a founding father. And maybe I love him so much because he never held a government position and didn't own slaves, which I thought was pretty cool. But Benjamin Franklin said he was the most consequentialist and the one person most responsible for the United States of America existing. His famous pamphlet that he wrote was called Common Sense. And I think on the first or second line of it, he says, government is at best a necessary evil. So at best, he's like, this is clearly on the anarchist to night watchman state spectrum was what true Americanism was when it started. Now, for me to say what I made the point, and I've made this point a million times on your show, Pierce, I was saying when people come on and say Iran is the biggest state sponsor of terrorism, well, just like give me an objective definition of what terrorism means, and then let's apply that standard universally. And if you're going to sit here and say, look, America has given billions, tens of billions of dollars to the IDF in the last few years. We've also, by the way, given a lot of weapons and money. Your first guest on this show there, the head of the Obama deep state, was using Al-Qaeda, bin Ladenite head choppers on the ground in Libya and in Syria. And yes, Adam, I would also consider it when our politicians lie us into wars that slaughter millions of innocent people and in many cases target those innocent people. I consider that terrorism as well.
All right. So Dave Smith is laying out his definition of terrorism. And while I appreciate the attempt at a universal standard, this is where it gets tricky. He's essentially saying if you define terrorism as targeting innocent civilians or lying into wars that cause mass casualties, then the US has definitely engaged in actions that fit the description. And look, it's hard to argue with the historical record on some of those points, from false pretexts for war to civilian casualties. But here's the rub. Lumping the entire United States, its military, and its people into the worst terrorist organization bucket is a massive oversimplification. It's like saying because a car company once had a faulty airbag, every car they made is a death trap. It ignores the complexities, the intentions, and the vast differences between, say, a targeted strike gone wrong and a group whose sole purpose is to instill terror through indiscriminate violence. This all or nothing thinking is a classic trap. The MAGA crowd does it all the time. If you critique America, you hate America. If you point out flaws, you are an enemy. But true patriotism isn't blind allegiance. It's the willingness to hold your country accountable, to demand better, and to acknowledge its imperfections. Dave Smith might be trying to hold a mirror up, but sometimes that mirror is so distorted, it just becomes another form of outrage bait.
There's the answer, Adam. And if you want to keep doing this, buddy, you could tell me to check the scoreboard. I'll run circles around you on this, dude. Check the scoreboard. Most unpopular war in American history going in. Check the scoreboard. 13 dead Americans and 150 plus other wounded. Thousands of innocents, including little schoolgirls in Iran, killed. Dead innocent Israelis. Hundreds of dead innocent people in Lebanon. Millions of innocent people being displaced, all at the cost of tens of billions of dollars and destroying Trump's coalition. Check your scoreboard, Adam. How's it looking for you?
Okay, Dave. So, okay, it's not working well for you, Dave, because
Substantively
you're
respond
still
to any
saying
of that,
that
Adam.
United States. You're saying the United States is a terrorist organization. You've already lost the debate. You live in America, tough guy. You have the luxury of sitting in your little studio with your hooded sweater, like you're 17 years old. The regime, you mean all American president?
I'm 17
Who's your favorite president in the last 50 years?
Adam, I'm 17 years old.
Who's your favorite president in the last 50 years?
I have a wife and children. Who depends on you, Adam? Your mom?
Okay, I also have
if you want to make it personal,
other, so you want to go personal?
You have a significant other.
We can go as personal as we can go.
No, I'm trying not to.
We can go as personal as you want.
Respond to one thing.
I don't care, Dave.
Adam, some substance.
I don't care.
I know, because you don't know anything.
Dave, you're a radical.
So move on. So stop picking a fight with me, dude. You don't know anything about anything. You're Pat's guy.
I know.
I like you, dude. I like you.
And there it is, folks. The complete meltdown. The moment where rational discussion goes to die. Adam isn't even attempting to refute Dave Smith's points anymore. He's just resorting to, you're a radical, you know nothing. It's the intellectual equivalent of sticking your fingers in your ears and screaming, la la la, I can't hear you. This isn't debate, it's dismissal. It's the ultimate cop-out when you don't have a strong counter-argument. Instead of addressing the substance, whether the US has engaged in actions that could be considered terrorism by a certain definition, he attacks the person and labels them as radical to invalidate their entire perspective. This is a tactic straight ripped from the MAGA playbook. If you can't win on facts, just declare your opponent as extremist and shut down the conversation. Wow, what a ride. This clip perfectly illustrates the chasm in modern political debate. On one side, you have someone making an incendiary claim, even if it has some kernel of truth in its underlying critique. On the other, you have immediate dismissal, personal attacks, and a refusal to engage with the actual arguments. Neither approach is productive, and frankly, both play right into the hands of those who thrive on division and outrage. What we need is less shouting and more listening, less labeling and more understanding. We need to be able to dissect complex issues without resorting to, you are a radical or you hate America. Because when we do, we just empower the loudest, most extreme voices. Often the ones pushing a MAGA agenda that thrives on simplifying complex problems into us versus them narratives. So what do you think? Were Dave Smith's claims justified, or was it pure clickbait? Did Ben Shapiro and Adam fall into the trap of intellectual laziness? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more breakdowns like this, where we cut through the noise and call out the BS in political discourse, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Let's keep pushing for better, more honest conversation, even when it is uncomfortable.